Yo, what's up, guys, and good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today is the 16th. Hope you guys are doing well. Very slow day so far. Tesla's down about 1.5%. S&P 500 is down about 0.5%, really flirting with this 200-day SMA, which is what we're really going to be watching on the market. And across the board, really slow. Like yesterday was a really good day. I made about 22 grand. I've been testing a new strategy. If you're a premium member, you know that, taking way too many trades than I really should. I'm in a lot of trades right now. It's kind of a problem. But overall did pretty well yesterday. Today didn't take anything yet. Actually, I have a day trade position in Apple right now. I'm seeing if we can push through 170. But that's really it. Today has been slow. It's no unusual movements, no unusual flow. Most active calls on Tesla today is 1 million, which is ridiculously low. Like ridiculously low. Bullish flow for the day is Apple with 7.2 million, AMD with 2.1, Roblox with 1.8, Upstart with 843,000. And today is just a slow day. On slow days, honestly, I really just don't trade. Like, honestly, I really just don't trade. You don't have to trade. You don't have to force anything. It's one of the biggest things I tell my mentorship group, and I'll tell you guys too. Like, you don't have to trade. Cash is a position. You don't have to. Do you have any Facebook shares? Yeah, I do have Facebook shares. I have about $10,000 worth long term that I bought last week, and I will probably end up buying like another 10 or 20 grand long term. What's up? What's up, guys? What's up, Nebby, BG, Pente, Leonora, Double O Lynn, Doria, Theo, Peter, Nora, Stock Explorer. What's up? I hope you guys are doing good. What's going to happen? 11 o'clock California time. Fed's going to pump the market once again. I don't know. We'll see. Smash the like button. Time to add more shares for Tesla long term. I feel like if you're investing in Tesla for the next 10 years, like, this is not a bad idea. One of the things I always say to a lot of people is, like, you have to define what long term is. That's the biggest thing. Like, to some people, long term is like 5 years. To some people, long term is 10 years. To some people, long term is 1 to 3 years. Right? That's usually going to be your time frame. So you have to figure that out. I think we're going down today, says Ben. Kenneth, can you look at Nvidia? Hell yes, it can. But yeah, long term, I think if you're looking at like 10 years plus, what do you guys consider long term? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. What do you consider long term? Because I also think that it's different if you guys end up not needing the money. I always say, like, invest with money you're never going to need. And I know for a lot of people, they don't do that, right? But we have to see. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. 5 to 10, Nvidia. We'll talk about Nvidia. I'll talk about Roblox briefly too. Long term is 10 years plus. I think that's what it should be. Long term is February 31st, 5 years. Great advice. What's your PT for SoFi, day trade or holding? We'll talk about SoFi if you guys want to. The fact that Tesla is the only stock that has its own channel proves that it's a meme stock, question mark? I wouldn't say it's a meme stock. Like, when I think of a meme stock, I think of a stock that really has no fundamental value anymore, but has a massive pump, like Kodak. If you guys remember that Kodak pump, like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, like, that was a meme. I would say Tesla definitely has value. It's definitely not a meme. 10 years plus. I think 10 years plus is usually good. 5 years isn't bad. I think if you're looking at 10 years plus, yeah, Tesla's not a bad price here. Keep an eye on Shopify. Rebound could be huge. I was working on an EV startup that never got off the ground, so I know Tesla way more than even most bulls. There's no February 31st. Got you there. Say it, Peter. Oh, yeah. What is there if we have a leap year? No, I think leap years. I think there's a 31st on a leap year. I have no fucking clue. My birthday is in February too, which is funny. Long term for me is when I retire. Yeah, knowing what long term is for you is very important because it's different for a lot of other people. We can look at, so as far as Tesla, like, still holding my shares, nothing really crazy today. We'll go over flow and whatnot, and then we'll start talking about some tickers. Going to try my hardest to keep this at like 20 minutes. We'll see. The first day was an hour. Yesterday was 37 minutes. So we'll see what happens. But Tesla rejected at 9:15. we'll see what happens with the Fed. We'll see if we snap this support. We have a little support at 900. If we break 900, expect 850. If we push up over 916, expect 950. Same thing, different day. Like I said a couple of days ago, selling cash secured puts or doing put credit spreads would be absolutely amazing right now, because we're just sitting sideways and would eat away at the decay. So that's not a bad move. And then as far as flow for the day, really nothing on Tesla. We haven't really been seeing too much on Tesla in general. We did have a dark pool come through at like 948. It was probably a sell. You can see we rejected here and dropped down. So we'll see what happens. But as far as Tesla, not too much. A lot of people have been asking me about NVIDIA, Roblox, a lot of these. NVIDIA, I really probably wouldn't touch. I kind of briefly went over this yesterday. I don't believe highly enough to either side to take a position on NVIDIA going into earnings. I really just don't. So for me, I really wouldn't touch it. We have an inverse cup and handle forming here on the daily, with a big resistance up here at 276. Fundamentally, earnings could be good, but I personally really wouldn't touch it. What about put credit spreads? What would you do if you had $300 to put towards it? For a put credit spread, I would probably look at Tesla. Let's go to this 1 hour. Personally, I would probably be looking at like an 865 or 870 put credit spread. So like sell an 870, buy an 865 or something, along those lines. I don't think we'll probably sell off down that low, but we'll see what happens. Apple getting a good little push up over the VWAP. We'll see what happens. So comments for Palantir. We'll talk about Palantir. Straddle would have been great on Shop. All right, we'll go through a couple things. So let's take a look at NVIDIA. I said NVIDIA, I really wouldn't touch it, honestly. At this point, I just don't have enough conviction to either side. Upstart is a massive one. Did really, really well today. If you look, we had never broken that trend line. Broke under it recently, was not looking too hot, and earnings just smashed it. So big resistance coming up here at 149. I really wouldn't chase it unless you're like long-term investing into this. Taking a look at SoFi. Someone was asking about SoFi. I really like this. I have a position, descending wedge, beautiful divergence, squeezing here. We need to see a push through 1357. If we push through 1357, we should pretty easily see a push up to 15. SoFi is looking solid right now. Rivian is another position I have. Rivian is looking solid here too, descending wedge, squeezing. So my price target for SoFi, not a day trade now. My price target for SoFi, maybe today we could see 1347, but my price target is like 1480. Too caught up in short-term games. Keep an eye on Shopify. Rebound could be huge. Your rebound could be huge on Shopify, but like I am not going to touch this right now. 200 SMA on the weekly. This could be a really good buy down at 697. I think long term this is a really good price for Shopify. Short term might be catching a falling knife, but that's not a problem. I did that with Facebook and with PayPal. I'm cool with that. Rivian, we went over that. It's looking pretty good. Air pocket on the volume profile under 902. I agree, Nebby. Hi all, what's up? Comments for Palantir. Let's talk about Palantir. PLTR. Palantir, good little support here at 14. The biggest issue that I really have with this is potential bear flag, and there's like no volume sub here. So if we reject, this thing is dropping fast down to $10. I'm not touching it personally. I'm really not. I think that if you're someone who wants to have a speculative long-term investment in Palantir, I think it's at a great price, but I personally wouldn't trade it. It's just not worth the risk. It really isn't, in my opinion. Shadow would have been good on Shop. I agree with you. Europe here, great to have your daily videos. Hell yes, thank you. Upstart, it's like 32%. Did great. Yes, it did. What do you think about FTCH? I have a position in FTCH. I really like FTCH. It's looking very, very good. Farfetch is looking solid. A lot of buys came in yesterday. No, maybe the day before. Let me go to the premium section and see if I can find it. Here it is. So this was on 2/14. I posted this to the premium group. A lot of unusual flow. So a lot of 318, 2250s, sweeps, about $600,000 coming in above the ask. Very, very, very good sign if you're bullish for FTCH. Very, very good sign. Really, really like it. Looking good here. Earnings on Palantir is Thursday. Yeah, they do have earnings Thursday. Personally, I really wouldn't touch it unless you like, honestly, like the one thing that I would maybe do on Palantir, I can't bring my options chain up on here. I have to look on Thinkorswim. The one thing I would maybe do is sell a $10 put. So like if I sell a $10 put, I can make about a 1% return with a 92% chance of profit. So as long as Palantir closes above $10 this Friday, I will make that. That is like easy fucking money right there. So I might put like 40 grand in that and just try to make like 100, maybe like $400. You know what I mean? I think that's probably the only way to play it. That's when I got in. Hell yes. Thanks for more of the amazing content. How to do scalp trading. Thank you, Jafar. Scalp trading, honestly, like I'll give you my opinion. Like I really don't like scalping. It's up to you guys. If you want to. When I first started, I really thought to myself that, I loved to day trade and I loved to scalp, but like the longer I've been doing this, like the less I like to, because I just don't like sitting in front of the computer all day. And when I look at like day trading, the way that I see it is like if I can make $300 a day trading, which would be like what, $1,500 a week, or I can make $800 a week or $700 a week swing trading and look at my computer 30 minutes a day. I personally would never pick scalping, because even though you could potentially make more money, it's just like I don't want to sit there all day. And I feel like the older you get, the less you look at how much money can I make, and you look more at like, what do I have to do mentally and physically in order to obtain that money? FTCH, Zach, it's FTCH is far-fetched. But if you're looking for scalping, playing a VWAP is usually like your best bet. Just trading mid VWAP, like you can see right here, Apple, flow is good too. So like on Apple, let's go to Apple. We had some of these unusual flows come through for Apple, some 311s. I was looking at some 218s, and you can also see we're coming up on the VWAP. When we're trading over the VWAP, that is a pretty good indication that we are bullish. And when we're trading below the VWAP, it's a pretty good indication that we're bearish. So I entered running into this VWAP, and I'm going to see if we can get a push and a run back up to 172. We'll see. I'll probably close it out in like an hour. I'm really not up like a lot right now, but it depends on the scalp. So it's really up to you. But for me, I really don't like scalping that much. Michael, Tesla puts only 40. Tesla's going to wipe out everyone. Biggest short ever. I would love to hear your thesis, Michael. Please let us know. I'm not being an asshole either. I would really like to know your bearish thesis. Because I mean, dude, I wouldn't really necessarily say that it's the biggest short ever. I would say that potentially short term it is overvalued, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla did ever drop down to like 500 or 400, which I would be buying pretty heavily there, but I definitely would not say it's the biggest short ever. I can give a bullish one. Do it up, Lord Pente. I would love to hear, like, that's the biggest thing, man. Like, if you guys ever have a thesis you want me to look over or anyone else to look over, like, throw it out there. My favorite thing is when people go against me, and then dude, this happens all the time. And I'm not the biggest bull on Tesla. Like, you guys probably know this by now. Like, I am not a perma bull for Tesla. Like, I'm really not. I feel like I'm one of the only people on YouTube who isn't. And I feel like I get a lot of shit for it sometimes. But I'm just a trader, and whatever's happening, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? But for a lot of people, I ask for their like opinion and their thesis, and nobody ever does. Like their bearish thesis or bullish thesis, or like nobody ever who calls me out or anything ever really comes up with anything of substance or anything. I've scalped 72 shares of Tesla, but what you're doing when you're doing it, you have to watch the stock every second until you're done. And that's my big thing, Kizzy, is like, I hated day trading, and then I go and take a poop. And when I come back from poop and I lost like $500, or like I could have made out, like, I feel that when you're trading slower time frames, good push on Apple. I feel like when you're trading a slower time frame mentally, it's just a lot better. Big push on that 1 minute on Tesla. Holy shit. Push up to 912. Advice: should I sell every position I have and take the loss and just do all cash? Kenneth, what are your positions? That's the first thing I would ask you. And what was your reasoning for taking the positions? That's the other thing too. Big push. What's your thesis for Tesla today? I mean, I don't want to say like I'm always bullish, but I think Tesla will probably end up holding 910. We're holding this 11 EMA. I don't know how the rest of the day is going to go, but we'll see what ends up happening. For me, it sounds stupid, but like most of the time, like I don't really make a thesis and I don't really care. Like I just usually trade like what's happening in front of me. I don't ever try to figure out like what's happening today. In all aspects of life, not even just trading, like I never try to figure out what's happening next. I just look at the long term. That's the best possible thing. But for Tesla, we do have a resistance here at 915. If we can push through 915, we could potentially see 922, 925. Pre-market, we had a support of 917. So if we can hold over 915, 917 is the next move, and then 922.50 and then 927. So those are like the rungs on the ladder today. And we'll see if we can hold. I started investing 6 months ago and I'm 20 years old, planning for a big future. Zach, that's the way to do it, dude. Take the long term. It's the most important thing for you. It really is. If I started when I was 20, I would be insane. Can you think of holding Tesla stock to 2030 or longer? Dude, that's tough, honestly. And it's not even just Tesla, it's any stock. I don't really know if there are many companies that I would feel comfortable holding for like 20 years or 15 years. No, that's not 15 years, but you know what I mean? That's 8. That's crazy. But when I look at like holding 10 years plus, there's not a lot of companies that like I really, because technology changed the game, right? There are so many companies probably 10 to 15 years ago that you never thought would be obsolete or like not a contender. Like Yahoo. Like, dude, imagine if you sunk your retirement into Yahoo. And now look at, like, you know what, there's so many of those companies that like you could have invested in long term, and then like if you hold them 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So personally for me, when I'm looking at investing in a company long term, I'm looking at 3 to 5 years, because I think with tech and how tech has been, I truly believe that with how technology is, that 5 years is a long time. Let me see. Most people should buy QQQ or SPY and whatever and forget trading. I agree with you, Kizzy. I completely agree with you. I think for 90% of people, probably just buying an index fund is probably the best thing to do. Mary, I have a bearish thesis on Facebook. I truly believe that Facebook shutting down the president and stock tanking is political. I can send a more detailed explanation of my thesis. I think that Facebook, honestly, this is like truly my thought. I really don't think Facebook gives a shit about social media anymore. And I really, really think that Facebook is looking towards the metaverse. And that's why I bought, even though their daily active users, monthly active users, and all of their average revenue per user is gone. I think that they realize people are abandoning social media more. People are not using social media as more. And I think that even they understand that social media is toxic. And I think that they are so far ahead of the curve that they are abandoning social media in general and moving way more towards the metaverse. And that is why I bought into it, because I think that even Facebook realizes that. So I'm not buying Facebook necessarily for social media anymore. Yeah, perfect rejection at 915, needs to hold 912. But that's my thought. Great call on 915 rejection. Thank you, Nebby. Yeah, so perfect rejection here. Could potentially see a cup and handle on the 1 minute. And then maybe if we can get a bounce off of 912, potentially see that move back up to 919. Oh, let's take a look at Apple. Apple's still holding here. But yeah, overall, I think like 5 years long-term investing is even a long time with technology and how fast things switch and move and shift and everything. All right, how long are we on here? Does anyone have any questions? I can take like 1 or 2 questions. We're at 20 minutes already. I wanted to keep it at 15, but any questions relating to long-term investing, trading, anything? anything along the lines. My positions are all tech, ChargePoint, Volta, EVGO, Robinhood, Tesla, Skills, CEI, Palantir. Tell me if some are junk. Here's the thing. I wouldn't say that they're junk. I would just say that you are heavily, besides Tesla, heavily invested in small cap tech. Like Skills, CEI, Palantir, ChargePoint, EVGO. So like you might be, quote, a bit diversified because Skills and Palantir and ChargePoint and Robinhood are all in different sectors, but you're not when it comes to like macro because you're in a shitload of small caps. Like personally, if you're looking at building a balanced long-term portfolio, Kenneth, I would probably take half of those out. This is me personally, not a financial investor, or a financial advisor, but I would probably add a little less volatility to your portfolio unless you're like super young and you're just like, don't care if you lose all the money. Because a lot of those could be homers, like home runs, and a lot of those could just be strikeouts when you're looking at 10 years down the line. But you only need one home run to change your life. Why do you not apply what you do to crypto trading? Ming, I like sleeping. My biggest thing, I don't trade crypto because I just could not imagine trading something that moves 24/7, and that's why I don't trade futures. It's not that I don't think there's money to be made, it's just that I don't even want to get into it. You know what I mean? What is the premium member and mentorship program? So premium member, if you're in the Discord, if you're not, go check it out, free Discord. We have tons of courses, live streams, lectures. Also, if you guys don't know how to use the options bot, I highly recommend you guys take advantage of learning how to use this thing. If you go to the courses and seminar section, there's a whole video teaching you. But the premium members, I'll show you here. So they get access to a premium section, right? There's a premium section that has a whole premium chat just for premium members, a Tesla premium chat, all of my premium alerts, all of my positions, all of my trades, all of our advanced traders, because a lot of them day trade and scalp, as well as daily watch list and weekly watch list. And they also get upgrades to the technical analysis bot, so like golden sweep alerts, dark pools, and large sweeps. That's what you get for the premium. For the mentorship group, you get to live stream with me every morning for the first hour. You get access to a whole separate Discord, as well as direct access to me, which I can't really do in the premium group because there's so many people over on the other Discord, as well as our 60-hour course library. So we have like a 64 or 65-hour course library. That's the difference. Thoughts on Lucid long-term? I honestly can't give an educated opinion. I really have not looked into Lucid long-term. Don't you think Tesla will eventually be big, being the first large EV company because eventually all cars will be electric? I don't know if all cars can be electric. That is actually a question I would ask you guys. Like, do we have the environmental resources to make every car electric? I think I read something that it would be impossible to make every single car in the world electric, or every single car in the United States potentially, because the creation of those batteries, I don't know. Just a quick Google search. Is it possible for every car in the world to be electric? Potentially, I don't know. But here's the thing. I was kind of talking about this before yesterday, but it's going to depend on the race. The race of not enough graphite. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe potentially in the United States. But here's the thing is like, what's going to happen first? We talked about this yesterday. Is Tesla going to raise the quality of their vehicles and win with tech and high quality? Or are other car companies going to come out with better tech and going to become, keep their quality? Like, imagine if Toyota had the technology of Tesla. That would be nuts. Right? Now imagine if Tesla had the quality of Toyota. That would be nuts. Which one's going to happen first? I think that that's the real question, and I think that that's what's going to end up happening. I don't think Tesla is going to be... I honestly don't think Tesla will be potentially the biggest EV car manufacturer, because I personally don't think it's... And this is just me, but I personally don't think that Tesla should target someone who's looking to buy a car for 20 grand. I really don't. I think that Tesla should be the premium distributor, but that's just me personally. Tesla will get to Toyota's quality for sure. I think that they can, but it's what's going to happen first. Is Toyota going to get the tech of Tesla first, or is Tesla going to get the quality? Plus, there's plenty of other cars. Like, dude, Rivian looks freaking amazing. Like, a lot of their cars, that new Kia, which I'm not a fan of Kia, but that new Kia actually looks pretty decent. It really depends. And when I look at Tesla, the last thing I care about is the cars. That's really the last thing. Like, being a car sales, like being in the sales of cars, I really don't care that much. I look more at the technology than I look at them being a car manufacturer company. I look at them more of being a battery company than I look at them being a car manufacturing company. How do you know when it's time to end a long-term trade? When the company's values, not when the company's values, I should say, but when the reason you bought it is no longer there. That's the best thing I can give you. When the reason you bought it is no longer apparent. I ran a performance shop for 18 years called Will Be Electric. Cars will be electric. 100%. Not enough graphite. Very unlikely in rural America. Been legacy auto for 35 years. Ran a performance shop for 18 years. 99% of all cars will be EV. Tesla will be the biggest by miles. Think all about the heavy equipment that runs on dynos. Extremely difficult to change that industry. Agree. Charging infrastructure currently will in no way be able to support 100% EVs. Let's see. I know Toyota 100%. Tesla will obliterate Toyota. Tesla will be absolutely the biggest manufacturer of EVs. Rivian has massive production scaling. Tesla is way ahead of the game in their supercharging network. That is one of the biggest things. Hadouken from Tekken. Hadouken. Yeah. The one biggest thing I really will say is like their infrastructure as far as their superchargers is crazy. And they did a really good job at just eating losses for so fucking long that it really makes a huge difference. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I look at Tesla, like I said, the last thing I look at is a car manufacturing company. It really is. It's like when I look at Peloton, which is completely different, but I briefly spoke about this yesterday. I don't look at like a workout equipment company. I look at a tech company, right? Like when you look at Uber, do you think of a delivery service or do you think of a tech company, right? I think of a tech company. I'm sitting at a supercharger and typing from a Tesla screen. Hell yes. And that's the cool thing. That's the tech. That's where it comes from, right? I don't think they're a car company. I don't look at it that way. I look at it and I don't think a lot of people do. I don't think a lot of people look at it as a car company because everyone's like, the biggest thing, and we'll hop off in a second, but the biggest thing you see from a lot of people is like, the valuation of Tesla is bigger than X car companies combined. And it's like, yes, because they're car companies and Tesla is a tech company, right? That's the biggest difference. It's not apples to apples, right? It's oranges to apples. And I think that the biggest and the best companies are tech companies. What is Amazon? Right? What is Amazon? Amazon's a tech company. Yes, they own, they do a lot of distribution, a lot of shipping. They own Whole Foods and but it's a tech company over anything, right? Amazon Cloud Services is nuts, right? What is Facebook? It's a tech company, right? Like we said before, Amazon Web Services, exactly. Look at, like we said, Tesla, they're a tech company. Peloton is a tech company. Uber is a tech company. Like most of these companies are tech companies. So like I wouldn't, when I hear people like, oh, it's the best, it's gonna be the biggest car. Like I'm like, yeah, you could be correct, but that's personally not where I would be looking. When people are like, oh, Amazon, look at UPS. Like why is UPS not, the same, like not valued the same? It's like, 'cause they're not a tech company, man. They just aren't. Let's see if Tesla can break out of this cup and handle. We'll see what happens. Are minutes at 11 or 1/3? Usually, I think the minutes drop at 2. Not sure. Big Tisk is full self-driving for Tesla. I have it in my car and I'm not convinced yet. Yeah, one of the biggest issues I've seen with Tesla's quality is battery performance and the cold. Like all EVs don't work well in the cold, man. Like I have a buddy, one of my buddies just bought a Tesla. I have 3 of them, but one of them just bought a Tesla and he got that new update like on Christmas or right after Christmas. I don't know if any of you guys own a Tesla, and like his fucking cameras don't work. like on the side of the car, like they just don't work. The rear camera will just like randomly stop working. And it's like, it was working fine before the update. But like I said, with a tech company, you have those issues. Here we go. Big cup and handle. See if we can push through. Confirmation. Looking for push with volume through 914. Dude, Jesus Christ, that's perfect. All right, well, there you go. Perfect example of a cup and handle. Big handle. Pull back on the cup. Nice bull flag. Big push up to 916. See if we can rally. If we can hold 916, we're moving to 920. And then we'll hop out. I should have day traded that, but whatever. The V11 update, yeah. And then that's the biggest thing. We talked about that a bit yesterday, but... when to get out. I grabbed calls before it. Right now is not a bad time to get out, Pente. Honestly, if you want to squeeze out a little more profits, you can at like 918. Come on in the Discord and drop the hammer. Does somebody need to be banned? Is that what you're saying? Does someone need to be banned? That's normally when I hear drop the hammer, drop the banned hammer. Happened on my Model 3. The rear camera was stuttering and reversing in the car. A new update came out. It seems to be okay now. That's cool. Not banned, but needs a smack down. Shoot me a DM, Nebby, or just tag me. Let me know. I'll have to look through. It's very hard. I'll keep an eye, though. But yeah, so overall, people probably hating on Seed again. I don't... I've had a lot of people say that. But yeah, so overall, yeah, I don't know. I'm still gonna buy a Tesla just for the fuck of it, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna put some stuff out. Dude's cool, just different. I'm gonna put some stuff out. Probably a video on Tesla. On the other channel, Untitled Capital, probably gonna do some other stuff too. Me seeing a supercharger, eating and listening to the live stream. That's dope. See, like that's cool. You know what I mean? Like that's dope. All right, have a good day, guys. Peace. Oh, and hit the like button. I forgot about that. See you guys.